Have you ever wondered about the early life of Martin Luther King Jr., the man who would become an icon of the civil rights movement? Born as Michael King Jr. on January 15, 1929, King was the son of Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. His father was a Baptist minister and an early civil rights activist, a guiding light that drew young King towards a path of activism. King's educational journey was steeped in intellectual rigor. He attended Morehouse College, followed by Crozer Theological Seminary, culminating in a doctorate from Boston University. This scholarly pursuit was not just about academia. It was a journey of self-discovery, of understanding the world, its inequalities, and the power of peaceful resistance. His father's activism and his own education intertwined, shaping King's worldview and preparing him for the monumental role he was to play. These formative years laid the foundation for King's future role as a leader in the civil rights movement. What was the catalyst for Martin Luther King Jr.'s rise to prominence in the civil rights movement? Let's delve into this pivotal chapter of his life. Martin Luther King Jr.'s foray into activism was sparked by an event that shook the nation: the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott. This was a political and social protest against racial segregation on the public transit system of Montgomery, Alabama. The boycott was a response to the arrest of Rosa Parks, an African-American woman who refused to surrender her seat to a white passenger. King's leadership during this period was instrumental in galvanizing public support and maintaining the momentum of the protest, which lasted for over a year. In the wake of the successful boycott, King was elected as the first president of the newly formed Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or the SCLC. This organization sought to harness the moral authority and organizing power of black churches to conduct non-violent protests for civil rights reform. Under King's leadership, the SCLC played a pivotal role in the fight against racial segregation and discrimination. King's advocacy for nonviolent resistance was put to the test during the Albany movement in Albany, Georgia. Despite facing a well-organized opposition and a lack of tangible victories, King remained steadfast in his commitment to nonviolent protest. This was a testament to his belief in the power of peaceful resistance and the transformative potential of love and forgiveness. The year 1963 saw King and the SCLC organizing protests in Birmingham, Alabama, one of the most racially segregated cities in the United States at the time. Despite facing violent opposition, the protesters remained committed to the philosophy of nonviolence. These protests caught the attention of the national and international media, bringing the harsh realities of racial discrimination to the forefront of public consciousness. Through these actions, Martin Luther King Jr. began to establish himself as a leading voice for civil rights. His belief in nonviolent protest, his unyielding commitment to justice, and his ability to inspire others set him apart as a transformative figure in the struggle for equal rights. Can you imagine the impact of King's iconic "I Have a Dream" speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1963? The year was 1963, a time of great social unrest. It was the March on Washington, a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. This was no ordinary march, but a clarion call for jobs and freedom, a gathering of 250,000 people, united in their demand for change. At the heart of this historic event was Martin Luther King Jr., a Baptist minister, an activist, and a beacon of hope for millions. King took to the stage, and the world held its breath. He was about to deliver a speech that would echo through the annals of history, a speech that would become synonymous with the civil rights movement, a speech that would be remembered simply as, "I have a dream." His words were a powerful tapestry, woven with the threads of hope, equality, and freedom. He spoke of a dream where his 4 little children would live in a nation where they would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. He dreamed of a day when freedom would ring from every corner of the nation, when all God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, would join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, great God Almighty, we are free at last." 2 years later, in 1965, King once again led from the front during the Selma to Montgomery marches, part of the Selma voting rights movement. These marches were a testament to King's unwavering commitment to non-violent resistance, even in the face of brutal oppression. King's words and actions during this period were instrumental in advancing civil rights legislation. His dream, his vision, his legacy continues to inspire generations, reminding us all that no matter how long the night, the dawn will break. How did Martin Luther King Jr.'s life tragically end? And what is his enduring legacy? On April 4, 1968, the life of Martin Luther King Jr. met a tragic and abrupt end. In Memphis, Tennessee, an assassin's bullet cut short the life of this towering figure of the civil rights movement. The shockwaves of his death reverberated across the nation and around the world, plunging millions into grief. The immediate reaction to King's assassination was a profound sense of loss, tinged with anger. Riots erupted in over 100 cities across the United States, underlining the raw and unresolved tensions of the era. Yet, amidst the turmoil, King's message of peaceful resistance remained a beacon of hope. In the aftermath of his death, King's tireless efforts for equality and justice were recognized on an international scale. He was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Congressional Gold Medal, two of the highest civilian awards in the United States. But perhaps the most significant recognition of his work came in 1964, when King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. He was, at the time, the youngest person ever to receive this honor, a testament to the monumental impact he had made at such an early age. King's legacy, however, is not only seen in the awards he received, but also in the tangible legislative achievements of the civil rights movement. These include 3 landmark pieces of legislation: the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin; the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which ensured all citizens the right to vote; and the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which prohibited discrimination in the sale, rental, and financing of housing. Despite his untimely death, Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy lives on, inspiring generations to continue the fight for equality. His dream, while not yet fully realized, remains a powerful motivating force in the ongoing struggle for civil rights. His life and work serve as a reminder that although the road to equality may be long and fraught with difficulty, with courage and perseverance, change is possible. So what have we learned about Martin Luther King Jr.? Born Michael King Jr., he grew from a young Baptist minister to a monumental figure in the civil rights movement. King's nonviolent resistance against discrimination, his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech, and his unwavering commitment to equality marked his journey. His legacy, though cut short by assassination, still reverberates today. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life and work serve as a powerful reminder of the struggle for civil rights and the power of peaceful protest. His legacy continues to inspire and challenge us today,